Here with Nick Weyrich, Midwest Prospects, Urbana, Ohio product, and this fall be heading to Marshall where he'll be throwing some ball this next season. Nick, appreciate the time.
Yep, thank you.
So he's 6'4",
yep.
A little over 90 with the fastball,
yeah.
3/4 arm slot. How would you describe yourself as a pitcher?
I'd describe myself as an effective pitcher. I mean, I work fastball a lot and I work change and curve, but I mean, with the high velocity, it helps at this age, so.
Who's influenced you as a pitcher? I mean, either guys that you grew up and said, I want to be like that, or just coaches, who are the guys that kind of influenced the way that you approach yourself on the mound?
Well, definitely my father. He played college ball at EKU, so he's definitely been a huge influence on me in baseball. And then my high school coach, he played a little in college, so definitely them too.
Anybody that you watched from afar and thought, I wish I had that pitch. I wish I had, wish I had that in my arsenal.
I mean, it's pretty fun to watch Shohei Ohtani on MLB right now. He's pitching pretty good, so maybe him. All
right, well, Shohei kind of leads me into something here because you're going to Marshall.
Yeah.
I want to get into the decision to go to Marshall, but you hit over 480 as a senior. The power is real. I mean, you saw that with some long balls this last season. Has there any discussions with you and Marshall about being a two-way player?
Definitely has. I'm going to try and go for it, so I'm going to be hopefully closing a little bit for pitching and then hitting also.
Okay, so let's talk about going to Marshall. What was it about that Thundering Herd program that kind of had you hooked, and that was ultimately going to be the decision for you?
Well, I talked a lot with the coaches down there, and they really liked what they saw in me, and I believed in them, and I knew that they had a good program, so it looked like a good spot for me to go.
Great. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a ball. I'm going to have you run through your pitch grips, kind of show us what you're working with, what your strengths are, and what you think you need to shore up a little bit as you head on to the next level.
All right. Well, I got my four-seam fastball here. Obviously, it's the main pitch I throw and definitely the most popular fastball that I throw. I also have my two-seam, which is kind of in here. It tails a little bit inside, and I don't throw it as much, but I like to get that extra movement, so it's not the same as my four-seam all the time, so it's not straight. I got a curve, which is more like a knuckle curve, which is in here with the finger up. And with the 3/4 slot, it comes in, and it's a little bit like a slurve, but I throw it as the knuckle curve. And then my slider, which is down here, I make sure to keep my thumb on the lace, so then that way when I turn my hand, I get that extra turn with the ball. But what's interesting about my slider is that when I pitch, since I'm 3/4, I actually drop sidearm for my slider. And then my changeup, which is getting there, but I've been throwing it a lot more recently as I throw the circle change here with the four-seam grip and the circle on the side, but I really like to try and get that extra inside motion. I've always been told to turn the doorknob like this on the inside corner to get that extra drop at the end, but yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Great stuff and best of luck at Marshall. Make sure you keep it locked on LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels and YouTube for all the latest happening on campus.